Let's talk about lies in the Wire series.
The lie's so big, people can't live with it, I guess.
A lie ain't a side of the story. It's just a lie.
The bigger the lie, the more they believe.
D'Angelo Barksdale told an altered story to prove that he is the real deal. Let's hear it.
You ever caught a body? I'm the one who just got home, remember? 8 months over on Eager Street with a body on me.
Yeah, you got the one.
Yeah, the one you know about. Man, y'all little need to ask around. There was this little shorty who used to stay out there. This was a shorty my uncle was messing with. So, you know, they was going on at it for a little while till she found out that my uncle got another little shorty ran away. So she goes off the hook talking about she gonna call the police, start talking about she ain't supposed to know about. And see, I got some creep to me. My uncle, he know that. So they roll me out past her crib. I go creeping around the back to the back window. I got the 4.5 on me, the big gun. And I walk up to the window and I look in and it's dark because it's like 3 o'clock in the damn morning and shit, you know, you can't see. So I pulled out the piece and I start tapping with the back of it on the window. And it was quiet, you know, but it was loud enough so she could hear that. Tap, tap, tap. That's what she heard, yo. Sure enough, she comes out, she turns on the light. And you know, when she does that, and it's light on the inside, she can't see shit on the outside. Tap, tap, tap. She hears that on the window, and she ain't got no choice but to walk over there and see what it is. She steps up, looks out, see where it's coming from.
What happened? He shot her.
Later, Dee confessed the truth to the police.
I didn't know they was gonna do her. I swear, they played me.
How so?
My uncle gave me coke. Told me to take it over there to her. So he had Weebay take me over there. You know, I walked up, knocked on the door, she came to the door. Anyway, I'm like, ain't you gonna let me come in? She's like, nah, because she gotta get ready for my uncle to come by later. So I give her the coke. She laughs about how she's gonna put that shit on ice for later on. So I turned around, started walking back to the truck, and I heard this shot. Weebay, he come running back with this big-ass 45 he liked to use so much, tells me how he was tapping on the window real soft. How with the lights on, she had to walk all the way up because she couldn't see what was on the outside. You know, when she gets up to the window and looks out,
Jay Landsman sent Bunk to interview few inmates who have claimed that they know about the missing gun. Bunk soon realized that inmates are just lying to get favors from him.
Low man, up on beats here, one of his boys in the dormitory. His brother's tight with the girlfriend of that boy that shot that police. Low man saying, if you sprung the 3 of us, we can get it talking. You know, find the gun. Hey, yo, I'm hearing the boy Dink got that man gun. Now, I ain't sure yet if that Dink be Dink Dink or Inky Dink or maybe Fat Dink. Then again, it might be Flat Nose Dink. No, wait. Nah, that can't be him. That Dink dead.
Look, man, I can help you. But first, you gotta get me out from under these murder beefs.
Yeah, how many murders we talking?
Look, man, do it have to be the cop's gun? Because if it's guns you want, I can get you guns.
Only a handful of people knew what happened exactly to Stringer Bell. Everyone else believed that Marlowe got to him. Slim Charles advised Avon to use that lie to their advantage.
We gonna bounce back on the mother, no question.
Bounce back on who?
Marlowe, boss. Oh, he gon' fall.
Marlowe ain't got to do with it. Marlowe couldn't get String like that. String died because of some other.
What?
He died because of some other. I couldn't fix it. I tried.
Don't matter who did what to who at this point. Fact is, we went to war, and now there ain't no going back. I mean, it's what war is, you know? Once you in it, You in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we gotta fight.
Marlowe embraced the rumor as one of them good problems and encouraged his people to spread the lie.
Son, this rang a bell, man. Was bagging Chris, yo, for real. Like, I mean, thinking in his pocket, talking about how much cheese he gonna give us. I mean, we just let him walk. Oh man, Chris hollow, man, bitch, you gonna die. This nigga just dropped to his knees like a little sucker, man. Start crying. That shit was worse than pathetic.
You see now, I'm here to tell you, this remaining silent ain't nothing like they make it out to be. That work when you some kind of criminal mastermind. When you ain't been seen running from the deed. When your own running partner ain't in the next room, putting you in. He's telling it like a little bitch. We even went to Mickey D's for him because he was so helpful.
Where we going?
Break room. So you can enjoy that, huh?
All right, but I still ain't saying yeah.
Yeah.
Marnell, what the
Homicide detectives often lie to gullible people to trick them in order to get confessions.
So it can feel my heartbeat?
Pulse, yeah.
If Marnell say I had the gun, he lying.
The machine tells the tale, son.
We ready, Professor?
Yeah.
We'll start with an easy one. Is your name, in fact, Deshaun Fredericks?
Yeah.
True.
And do you reside, in fact, the 1200 block of Whittier Street in West Baltimore?
Yeah.
True.
And did you and Marnell shoot your boy Pookie down on Carey Street just like Marnell said you did?
Nah, no.
Lie. Lying motherfucker. The machine is never wrong, son.
Man, can't never keep his damn mouth shut. I should've busted the cap and Pookie ass my own self. Left Marnell home and shit. He just a bitch is all.
The bigger the lie, the more they believe.
Impressive. It's not often that I see respondents come so prepared for a juvenile commitment meeting.
In addition to those signed statements from Preston's sponsors at the Police Athletic League, I also have a photostated copy of a cash check, which indicates that he is enrolled in the GED program at the Baltimore City Community College.
Levy often lies and produces fabricated evidence to protect his clients. Watch how he handled Bodie's case and later Savino's case.
Excuse me, but I can't help but notice that your client is under a delinquent petition for the sale of narcotics and further for assault on a police officer. Beyond that, he walked away from a JSA facility.
Your Honor, my client stands ready to acknowledge that he was involved for a time in the sale of a small amount of drugs, a transaction for which he received no remuneration, having been manipulated by older traffickers in his neighborhood. That was a mistake, Your Honor. However, we will contend that it was Preston who was the victim of a brutal police beating, indications of which are still evident on him, Your Honor. He struck back, wildly and in self-defense, Your Honor.
And the walkaway?
Preston was heavily medicated when he left the Cheltenham facility. In that state, Your Honor, he was simply trying to get back to see his grandmother.
Pending a hearing on these charges to be scheduled within 6 months, I'm putting the respondent on home monitoring with his grandmother.
Your Honor, I'm afraid Mrs. Broadus doesn't have a telephone for any monitoring calls. She's on a fixed income, Your Honor.
How about he calls his probation officer twice a week?
Cool. Whatever. Your Honor.
Okay, then. Here you go. That's baking soda, which Mr. Bratton intended to sell to Orlando Blocker. You can keep it without compliments.
Where's the money?
Mr. Bratton did not receive money. He left it in the car when he went to retrieve the champagne. If you're recording the transaction, the tape will confirm this.
God knows he wasn't in on the setup. I mean, it was pure dumb luck that he left him in a dead-end alley and they were shot just 2 minutes later.
Mr. Bratton had no knowledge that the young woman was a police officer, and no intention of doing anything other than defrauding Mr. Blocker of $30,000. Best you can do is 286B.
What the hell is that?
Distribution of sham CDS. 3-year maximum, $5,000 fine.
That's it?
If you took the cash, we could go to felony theft or fraud, but the tape has him leaving the money.
Nicely done.
This one is a long con with series of lies to hook Stringer Bell in order to defraud him. First, Senator Davis and his friends sold a dream to Stringer Bell and encouraged him to start a development project.
And the thing is, you're on the ground floor with what you're holding. Yes, you are, String.
So we're still talking more return than just flipping the properties for the condemnation money.
Way more.
We need to readdress the budget.
Readdress how?
Well, for one, the price of steel has doubled. It'll triple if we don't buy it now.
Well, ain't the steel bought already?
Not the bulk of it, no. Then the gutting costs, they exceeded our original expectations.
Gutting costs went up, huh?
Well, that was due to your modifications, the changes you asked for in those loft units. Necessitating new permits.
Which means another delay.
Unless we expedite, bring the architect and his people back in over the weekend, get some to the city on Monday.
Whoa, ain't that part of his original fee?
No, this was unanticipated.
But look, y'all up, so y'all supposed to take the hit, right?
Unfortunately, Mr. Barksdale, cost overruns are the nature of the business. And we should discuss this over lunch.
Hell no, man. I got elsewhere to be.
Soon, Stringer Bell started to realize that property development is not a smooth operation. His property development consultant, Andy Krochek, constantly came up with problems with the project and asked Stringer Bell to get help from the senator.
Problems, Mr. Bell?
Nah, it's ain't the time for problems, man. I got places to be.
We're being told it may take weeks before we get the city inspectors back down here to approve these site changes.
Weeks?
Every day we wait, you lose money.
Man, what the f***? How does anybody make any money in this game, man? Every time I think we good, you back in my pockets.
You need to make a call.
Again?
This is why we have a politically connected guy like that in the payroll.
25,000. You don't need more than that to get it done.
25 gets me the permits?
20 gets you the permits. 5 is for me for bribing these downtown motherfuckers. I mean, I'm the one got to risk walking up to these thieving bitches with cash in hand, right? We spend this year dealing with the city, the next doing business with the state. However, year 3, then we go for the gold. Then we go federal. Then we see the man with his hand on the faucet.
What faucet?
The HUD faucet. The money faucet.
Look, man, I don't know why we gotta wait 3 years for that. I'm ready to run now.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to run now.
3 years. Crawl, walk, and then run.
Oh, look at you.
Oh.
Chunky Coates.
Who's that?
You don't know Chunky? He had an office so small you had to leave the room to change your mind. And 2 years ago, he started running with your man, Clay Davis. Look at you now, you big sassy bitch.
In my world, do you have any idea what I had to do to get where I am today? And when I say I'm ready, you best believe it.
Next step was to hint Stringer Bell there are more opportunities out there and tell him he wasn't ready for them. Clay Davis and Andy Krochek knew which buttons to push. Because of his massive ego, Stringer Bell walked right into their final trap.
If we go upstairs, we'll spook him. So he's coming down. All right? Russell Bell.
I know B&B like I know 1,000 other outfits, but I don't know him. Why should I talk to him?
Because Russell's a good man, and he's ready to run.
Then let him run for you.
Hang on. Wait a minute, partner. Got Got your running shoes on? You're in.
That's the faucet?
As far as the federal money's concerned, he's everything. The faucet, the goose.
What goose?
The one that lays them golden eggs.
Now your man better be as good as his word. Or your word.
If you are still in possession of that kind of mentality, then you are definitely not ready.
Let's do it.
I'll be in touch, partner. When I see this is up.
Oh, I'll give you $250,000 to have him tell me my paperwork is insufficient enough to certify me as a developer in the impoundment zone. Yeah, you could call it up.
Look, I know we touched the right people. Just let me get with them, clear this mess right up.
Get with him.
Yeah, I'm on it, Strang.
Now, you need to call Mr. Goose, Mr. Fawcett, whoever the you gotta call, because I gave you money to run. Remember that?
Patience, my man. Sometimes with the bureaucracy, the one hand don't know what the other is all about.
Yeah, well, you know what I see? I see one hand in my pocket, while the other hand seems to have grabbed your dick. Shamrock. Run these over to Levy for me. Tell him I want to read on it.
A read?
Fresh eyes. Tell him I'll call him tomorrow.
Finally, Stringer Bell decided to get advice from his lawyer, Levy. But it was too late.
You gave money up front?
$250,000, yup.
To Clay Davis.
How you know?
Let me guess. He told you about the faucet. Or was it the goose that laid the golden egg? You ever actually meet the man? Did you ever actually see any of your cash reach anyone in authority?
Yeah, I met the guy at the federal building. Yeah, I met him.
Yeah? What office?
He came down to the lobby.
He rain-made you. A guy says if you pay him, he can make it rain. You pay him. If and when it rains, he takes the credit. If and when it doesn't, he finds reasons for you to pay him more. Clay Davis rain-made you.
No, man, he got them building permits in no time at all, man. I mean, we bribing these motherfuckers. He got the city contractor's money back.
How much?
$35,000 so far.
On $250,000 you gave him.
It's for bribing them.
There are no bribes. This is an old game in this town. And Clay Davis, that Gonoff was born with his head in someone's pocket. Just wish you'd run it by me sooner.
Fake serial killer story arc unfolds throughout the entire 5th season. Some fans think it is a far-fetched and unrealistic story. Nevertheless, I had to include it in, because it was the biggest and most impactful lie in the Wire series.
Oh, come on, Jimmy! Grip.
There's a serial killer in Baltimore. He preys on the weakest among us. He needs to be caught. Well, then we're no worse than before. Extra red name or two on the board.
Yeah, unless you got caught.
Who in this is gonna catch me?
What's with the red ribbon?
Barlow had a open strangle a few years back. Homeless guy with a red ribbon tied around his wrist. So that's 2. Also, I found an open homeless case, which Ray Cole worked. I wrote a ribbon into his office reports. So there's 3.
Our guy didn't have a red ribbon.
That's where I'm headed.
Jesus.
Madman on the loose, huh?
3 linked cases and counting.
He's killing vagrants, is he?
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Look here. Back in the girdle ads.
It's
It's Jimmy McNulty's Ripper. You know why they call him homeless, Jimmy? Because they ain't got a pot to piss in. And you know why they ain't got a pot? Because nobody gives a good f***. Shake it for another day or two, and then you're back in the rotation.
Detective McNulty did everything he could. He fabricated evidence, linked few cases with red ribbons, and tipped off media. But the case did not get any traction. It would have died down and be forgotten. But as a good friend, Bunk tried to talk sense into McNulty through old and wise detective Lester Freeman. It was a huge mistake.
You f***ed up.
Yeah, tell him.
No, I mean, if you want to do it right, a straight-up strangle's not enough. Not if it's some vagrant. Sensationalize it. Give the killer some f***ed up fantasy, something bad, real bad. It's got to grip the hearts and minds, give people what they want from a serial killer. No, you're onto something. I only need a few weeks to pull down Marlo Stanfield. You fly this mess right, you can give it to me. Who gives a damn if we fake a couple of murders that we're never gonna solve, huh? The dead men don't care. No one cares.
Well, Bunk's plan really backfired.
We gotta give your killer a name.
We have to kill again. That there is the sickest idea yet. You know that, right?
I'm just gilding your lily, son.
He's perfect. Can't be dead more than a couple hours. Better lose these. You know, a lot of nerve calling me twisted. You're the fella that came up with the teeth.
There you go.
Don't ever tell my mother or my priest you saw me do this.
Take it to my grave.
While Lester was helping McNulty to fabricate evidence, unbeknown to them, a shameless reporter, Scott Templeton, decided to add his own spin to the serial killer story.
He called you on your cell phone? Why didn't he call the paper?
Well, I was all over the city yesterday handing my cards out to homeless men. He probably got the number from a card. I might have handed him a card. I think this is the guy. I mean, Detective, a chill ran down my back.
Big story for you guys, huh?
Yeah, well, 10 minutes ago I'd have said this whole thing was complete bullshit. Shows what I know, I guess.
It's perfect. McNulty, it's perfect.
I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there. All this bullshit coming at me, thinking, Christ, this is a waste of time. And then I realized, this is the wiretap. Right here. They're giving it to me. Never mind me making a crank call to someone. This right here is Lester Freeman's motherfucking wire.
Sergeant, upstairs water.
Now, stick to the script.
Hey, you. Where'd you get off?
You see, little twist. Sexual.
I'm not sexual with them. I'm not abusive with them.
How dare you write that in your paper? Them know nothing about me.
I'm sending you something right now. You take a good look at this guy.
Because you ain't never gonna see him no more.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Holy Christ.
You don't know where this guy is, huh? He could already be a victim, sure. Jesus. That's Charles and Conway. I wonder if he's a regular out there.
Finally, McNulty decided to clue in Detective Kima.
Jimmy, you can't do this. A couple days more. Lester gets his best shot at Marlo. After that, we'll never hear from the Red Ribbon Killer again.
Oh, by the way, I told Greggs.
Oh, McNulty, how many more people?
You too, huh? You all are good with this.
Kima.
Not me.
I can understand why Kima decided to blow the whistle on the fake serial killer. Even though McNulty and Lester thought no one cares about these homeless people, Kima saw firsthand that the situation is more complex than that, and she had interviewed caring family members of dead homeless men and saw the pain they were in because of McNulty's lies.
We knew he'd probably die out there if the drugs get him. We knew that.
But this thing in the newspaper? Nobody deserves that.
So no one killed any homeless men?
No serial killer. Some are random killings, some were natural deaths that were likely manipulated. But they're not linked in any way.
Perlman knows everything. Daniels, too. They figured it out.
How?
I don't know.
Does she know about Marlowe that I can't?
Because he knows everything. Daniels knows.
Why aren't we fired? Why aren't we bracelets? I don't know. We gotta get out of here. We gotta think this thing through. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now people know that the serial killer is fake. But Scott did not get the memo. He is going to try a new trick.
Kai, you alright? Funny it being you to see this. It's weird. If an interview doesn't run late, I'm not even here tonight. Mind if I get inside? I gotta check in with my desk. You need anything else, you got my number. Yeah. That guy's an asshole. This smoke hound can't remember a thing. Who was trying to hurt you?
My father. But he was a drunk.
Detective, there's a vagrant over here. Says he saw something.
McNulty? Johnny Weaver Tactical.
Why'd you say so?
JW. Trying to keep you cover, huh? That's better if everyone down here thinks I'm one of the regulars, right?
Some reporter says he's going into his building. He sees a guy trying to drag him into a gray van. It's bullshit, right?
Yeah, Petey was laying there for 45 minutes before that preppy cocksucker even parks his car.
Thanks.
No problem.
Our job is to report the news, not to manufacture it.
F you, Gus.
This fight is important. But more about it later.
You hit again.
Who did?
Serial killer.
Get a grip, man.
You don't believe me? Check out his left wrist.
With me again, Bo.
Copycat. Call McNulty, get him down here. I got nothing to do with this.
Oh, wonderful. We've eliminated one suspect. You see what you started here?
The bosses are gonna toss it back to you. No doubt. Bosses know it's bullshit. What? Daniels knows. Perlman too. How the are you not in jail? I don't know. The lie's so big, people can't live with it, I guess. Jesus.
You're not killing them yourself, McNulty. At least assure me of that.
I thought you got a message.
Copycat. I got nothing on this one.
Jesus. So this is your last case. Work it.
If you're head to detective you think you are, you'll put this one down fast and take us all off the hook. The longer this goes on, the worse the payback's gonna be.
Hey.
Who's up next?
I think it's down.
Well, you ain't that good.
Oh, it's mine.
It's yours, I know. Did you kill the others? Did you kill all of them?
Every one of them!
They used the crazy man as the scapegoat and covered up the truth.
I've killed millions.
Jimmy, reporter's in there waiting for a photo already.
What? Jay, he's bullshit.
I know he is. But the newspaper made such a fuss, the major wants us to jerk him off just to say we did.
Templeton is still trying to keep the lie afloat.
No gray van either.
What?
No gray van. And he didn't call you on the phone either, did he? He didn't call you the first time. And he didn't call you the second. I did that.
You mortify me in front of my father?
And those pictures you got? I took those. And you know why I can tell you all this? Because you lying mother. You're as full of shit as I am.
You're not serious. You
No. No, I'm a joke. And so are you. Now get the out of here.
This man is the embodiment of a lie. He did nothing but lie throughout the show. We already know about his part in the fake serial killer story. So let's look at his other lies.
Hey, what's my favorite GA reporter have today for his favorite editor?
Heartbreaker from East Side. Salt of the earth, single mother of 4 dies from allergic reaction to blue crabs. Ate them all her life but goes face down in a lumbactin platter. Pronounced an hour later at Hopkins, and sister is starting a scholarship fund for the kids.
Listen, got a complaint about a story you wrote a couple weeks ago. The one about the woman who died from an allergic reaction to seafood. You remember?
What about it?
The neighborhood lady who knows the dead woman's sister says our story made a lot of money for those kids. A scholarship fund we wrote up.
Yeah, so?
Well, she says the sister has a history of fraud. Convictions on it. Says all the money went to Atlantic City casinos and kids never saw a dime. And maybe you should go back and check with the family and see if we don't get took on this, huh?
Oh, hey, Scott.
You get a chance to drop a couple calls on that complaint?
Yeah, it's bullshit. I talked to people in the neighborhood. Sister's good people, but there's another woman up there, unrelated, keeps getting arrested for kiting checks and stuff, and she uses sister's name every time she gets locked up. She's done it like 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, it's crazy, but sister's clean. Everyone says so.
Okay.
Gus did not believe Templeton, so he inquired Lieutenant Dennis Mello about his suspicion. Lieutenant clarified that it is impossible to repeatedly provide false identifications to the police.
Joining the game? Long-time O's fan?
I could care less about opening day at this point. Between Bud Selig and Barry Bonds, they ruined baseball for me.
You have a minute to talk?
Wait to meet somebody.
So you Orioles fan?
Look at him, running around trying to find a baseball fan. He is terrible at his job, but he comes up with amazing stories and loads of excuses.
I got good stuff. I got a kid in a wheelchair outside the stadium wanting to go to the game, but unable because he didn't have the money for a scalp ticket.
Sounds pretty good. You got art?
I tried, but photos said they were too booked with the game.
It's your main color piece. You gotta have a picture of the kid if he's your lead. How'd he get in a wheelchair?
Something about a stray gunshot. It was all pretty vague.
You got a date when that happened?
Nah, he was a little hinky with telling me much. Fact is, he would only let me go with his nickname.
The kid is nowhere to be found. I sent Photo down there to try to dig him up. Nothing.
Probably left.
I mean, I'm not saying that this kid isn't everything you say he is, but Scott, damn, as an editor, I need a little more to go on if I'm gonna fly this thing.
I resent the implication.
I'm not implying anything. I'm on your side.
Uh-huh.
Scott also found out that it was easier to write up amazing quotes himself and attribute them to anonymous sources rather than actually interview people and get some mediocre quotes.
Good react quote from me in Metro right.
Carcetti may be holding the knife, but Daniel sharpened it for him. He's been critical of Burrell since the election. You feel comfortable telling me where you got that?
Not really. It being a source.
Well, it's a great quote, but if you're gonna slam somebody anonymously, I at least have to be sure that the quote comes from
Reese Campbell.
You got any reason to say that, huh?
Twig's not the only guy with game around here.
You see that quote from somebody about me stabbing Burrell in the back? It's a damn lie.
So what?
This quote from Daniels, it's a good day for the good guys. You couldn't come up with anything better than that?
He wouldn't play. Says we took his name in vain last time we used it.
When was that?
When we had him backstabbing Burrell at City Hall, remember?
Gus got suspicious again and met Nerys Campbell, only to find out that she never said Scott's quote.
Can't believe I'm talking to you, Gus. Is that you pull? See, that's how y'all do. Slam somebody, then come back the next day like it never happened.
It's just business, Nerys. It's your turn to read about yourself. Now, what about this Daniels fella? You think he's ready to run a cop shop? It's kind of ugly the way he kept putting a knife to Burrell like that. I mean, it's...
You know, I read that and wondered where the hell you people got it from.
What do you mean?
I was behind Burrell until the moment I wasn't. And if he'd had somebody backstabbing him at City Hall, I'd have heard about it. Daniels wasn't even on my radar.
Daniels did not cut Burrell?
At the end, after his name was floated, Daniels went around saying he didn't want the job.
And we are saying to this senseless killer and to all the other ills that prey on those without shelter in our city, not tonight can you prey on them.
Here again, Scott is in the middle of the event, but still comes up with the fictionalized news report.
Thank you.
spike in your lead. I'm not running a story about a public gathering. A candlelight vigil at City Hall, in fact, where the lead anecdote and quote is from an unnamed homeless woman.
But her story is great. Look at that quote.
It's a perfect quote. Best quote I could ever ask for. And that's my concern at this point.
And to hell with you if you think I made it up.
We have a standard that we follow here. I'm gonna follow it.
I'm doing a story on the homeless men who've been killed. You heard about that?
You got $2 on you, right?
You want to know about them murders?
That's why I'm out here.
Want to know who's doing it?
You know who's doing it?
I do. Can you handle hearing it?
What's your name?
Nathan, Levi, Boston.
Remember that name.
And you know who the killer is?
Do you believe Satan walks the earth in a fleshly form? That Satan can occupy the souls of men? And he's just getting started.
Had a family of 4 under the Hanover Street Bridge. Father broke down and cried when I talked to him. Him talking about how he couldn't protect himself, couldn't protect his kids. Mother just kept stroking the youngest one's blonde hair.
Whoa, you get names in this, right?
Yeah. Guy's name is, Boston. Nathan Levi Boston. What's your name?
Nathan, Levi, Boston.
Okay, you got 30 inches if you need them. You're gonna go off the front in a package with Alma and Fletch.
Scott decided to spend a night with homeless people and write an article about them. During that time, he met a homeless veteran and decided to write a separate article about him.
Second tour me up good, but they don't want to hear it.
Who doesn't?
Mostly it's command and the senior EMs.
Can you tell me what happened?
Our lead vehicle was hit with an elevated IED. Blast tore the M50 gunner in half. Flipped the Humvee like a matchbox car. Driver lost both his hands, blood shooting out all over and laughing. Saying over and over, "Look, Mom, no hands." Weird. Because he's okay, you know? I mean, he's better than me. Got himself a couple of prosthetic mitts. 80,000 apiece.
Fellow down the lobby says he wants to talk to an editor.
What kind of editor?
The kind that worked on the story about that homeless vet.
Even Gus praised Scott's article about the former Marine, but the moment of glory did not last long.
Mr. Haney, it's an honor for me to meet you, sir.
Who are you?
My name's Gus Haynes. I edited the story you're featured in.
Then you're a f***ing liar.
It's in my notes.
I never said I was in a firefight. Not on that thing.
I'm sorry, but you did.
I told you the lead vehicle took a hit from an elevated IED. Killed the 50 gunner and blew the hands off the driver. That's it. That's enough, man. Why you gonna make the rest of that up?
I didn't make anything up. We sat there having coffee.
Coffee?
Having donuts and coffee. And you said...
What'd I say?
Can I finish?
I don't know.
If you're not going to let me tell my side of the story...
A lie ain't a side of the story. It's just a lie.
I don't have to listen to this.
Okay, hey, Scott, let's just relax here.
Both gentlemen, let's just step back here, please. Now, Mr. Henning, forgive me, but do you drink much?
You think I can sleep under a bridge sober? I know what it is to tell a story. I've told plenty in my time. But there's some things that happen, you don't ever with them.
Mr. Hanning, I know you
What
probably...
if one of the guys, what if a Marine who was there, he reads that shit you made up? That's why I come down here today. What if one of the guys sees that? Man, get him out of my face.
After homeless vet's accusations, Gus visited the Army Medical Center to meet the Humvee driver. He confirmed homeless vet's allegations and said that Scott had lied in his article. Gus decided to dig in and employed one of his friends and a veteran journalist to review Scott Templeton's articles.
Ruby. Hey.
Welcome home. Thanks. I need you to give me a global printout on everything under Scott Templeton's byline. All of it. Every edition. Hey, I'm a fan. It's like a sweater with the threads hanging off. Pull any thread. Mostly exaggerations and too perfect quotes, sometimes on the record. If someone takes the time to re-report this stuff, it'll get ugly.
Hey. Hey. Kai, you all right?
Funny it being you to see this.
It's weird. If an interview doesn't run late, I'm not even here tonight.
We don't run this, especially not off the front.
I saw what I saw.
Alma is on the phone with police PIO, and they're telling us on the record and off that they're discounting any report of a possible abduction.
That may be, but that doesn't mean they're doing their job, and it doesn't mean we shouldn't.
Our job is to report the news, not to manufacture it.
You, Gus.
Nice.
Are you suggesting that Scott made any of this up? Pictures were sent to him. The police have confirmed.
It always starts with something true, something confirmed. But then you got a son of a bitch who just happens to be walking in the Guilford entrance when the mysterious gray van comes.
Gus, this has gotten personal between you and Scott, and it's affecting your judgment. I'm moving the story through the state desk. You should go home. Think this through. We'll talk in the morning.
It's in my notes, Gus. Everything that happened, everything that guy said when I got to him. Every last word is in my notes!
Did he make all of it up? The calls from the killer? The pictures?
Some, not all.
Why?
Look around you. The pond is shrinking. The fish are nervous. Get some profile, win a prize. Maybe find a bigger pond somewhere. Whiting, Clevenaut, Templeton. They snatch a Pulitzer or two and they are up and gone from this place. For them, that's what this is all about. Me, I'm too simple-minded for that. I just wanted to see something new every day. Write a story with it.